Like, thanks for the memory.
From his early days as a rising star in Hollywood to becoming an acclaimed director and actor known for his multifaceted talents, Clint Eastwood captivated audiences in every capacity. His journey from modest beginnings during the Great Depression to a household name in the film industry shows just how far one can go with enough dedication and adaptability. Whether portraying tough, stoic loners or exploring complex narratives behind the camera, Eastwood's contributions to cinema have left an indelible mark. But his personal life was no less dramatic than his on-screen performances. Now, at 93, Clint Eastwood finally admitted what we all suspected. Let's get started. Early life and career. Born on May 31, 1930, in San Francisco, California, just in time for the Great Depression, little Clint Eastwood had to relocate numerous times with his family before the bunch decided to finally settle in Piedmont, California, in 1940. This constant movement shaped Eastwood's early years, providing a backdrop of resilience and adaptability. His father, Clinton Eastwood Sr., worked as a manufacturing executive at Georgia Pacific, while his mother, Ruth Wood, was employed in a clerical role at IBM. His younger sister, Jean Bernhardt, was born in 1934. Having finally settled into a place, Eastwood attended Piedmont Junior High School and later Piedmont High School. Despite the family's financial struggles, Eastwood enjoyed a relatively stable childhood in an affluent community. The impact of the Second World War was felt strongly by the family and influenced the broader societal context in which Eastwood grew up. During high school, Clint was more interested in music and mechanics than academics, and earned a reputation as something of a rebel. After graduation, he worked various jobs, including as a lifeguard, paper carrier, grocery clerk, and forest firefighter. In 1951, during the Korean War, Eastwood was drafted into the United States Army and stationed at Fort Ord in California, where he served as a lifeguard and swimming instructor. His military service, though not on the front lines, was a formative experience that provided him with discipline and structure. After his discharge from the Army in 1953, Eastwood moved to Hollywood in pursuit of an acting career. He enrolled at Los Angeles City College and took various odd jobs while auditioning for parts. In 1954, his persistence paid off when he secured a 40-week contract with Universal following a successful screen test. Despite the initial promise, his time at Universal was marked by minor roles in films like 1995's Tarantula and Revenge of the Creature. After one contract renewal and continued bit parts, Universal decided not to extend his contract further, leading Eastwood to seek opportunities elsewhere. However, Eastwood was able to land his breakthrough role in 1959 as Rowdy Yates in the popular TV Western Rawhide. This set the stage for his subsequent rise to stardom. Rise to fame as an actor and director. The mid-1960s marked a turning point in Eastwood's career with his portrayal of the man with no name in Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns. These films, including 1964's A Fistful of Dollars, 1965's For a Few Dollars More, and 1966's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, showcased Eastwood as a laconic, fearless gunfighter. His calculated yet brutal anti-hero persona captivated international audiences, and the film's success in the United States in 1967 cemented Eastwood's status as a box office star. Eastwood's first American Western, 1968's Hang 'em High, marked another significant milestone. This film, directed by Ted Post, was heavily influenced by the style of Sergio Leone's westerns and featured a strong ensemble of character actors. Working with director Don Siegel on 1968's Coogan's Bluff, 1970's Two Mules for Sister Sarah, 1971's The Beguiled, and 1979's Escape from Alcatraz, Eastwood gained crucial directorial knowledge, a debt he later frequently acknowledged. Their most famous collaboration was 1971's Dirty Harry, a film that introduced audiences to the ruthless police inspector Harry Callahan. Eastwood's portrayal of Callahan, with his iconic catchphrases like,
"Go ahead, make my day,"
became a defining role, spawning 4 sequels and securing Dirty Harry as a legendary character. His journey into directing began with 1971's Play Misty for Me, a thriller in which Eastwood played a disc jockey terrorized by a female fan. This project established his ability to handle intense psychological narratives. He continued to explore different genres, directing and starring in 1972's High Plains Drifter and 1976's The Outlaw Josie Wales. In High Plains Drifter, Eastwood portrays a mysterious stranger who brings vengeance to a corrupt town, infusing the film with a surreal and haunting atmosphere. The Outlaw Josie Wales marked a significant milestone in Eastwood's career. Eastwood crafted a story about a Missouri farmer turned outlaw after his family was brutally murdered by Union soldiers. This film, stylishly shot by Bruce Surtees and featuring a notable performance by Chief Dan George as a Cherokee elder, humanized Eastwood's typical Avenger archetype. In 1975's espionage thriller, The Eiger Sanction, Eastwood played a retired assassin coerced into one last mission, combining high-stakes action with breathtaking alpine cinematography. He then directed 1977's The Gauntlet, an action-packed film where he starred as a police detective escorting a witness to testify, played by Sandra Locke.
You wouldn't hit a lady, would you?
The movie, while formulaic, was noted for its dynamic pacing and intense action sequences. Eastwood's versatility as a director was further evident in 1980's Bronco Billy, a heartwarming story far removed from his usual violent fare. In this film, he plays the owner of a struggling Wild West show who falls in love with a runaway heiress, again played by Locke. In 1982's Firefox, Eastwood ventured into the realm of high-tech Cold War espionage, portraying a pilot tasked with stealing a Soviet supersonic jet. The film's futuristic elements and tense storyline added another dimension to Eastwood's directing repertoire. That same year, he directed and starred in Honky Tonk Man, a movie set during the Great Depression. Eastwood's portrayal of a tuberculosis-stricken country singer aspiring to perform at the Grand Ole Opry highlighted his capacity for conveying deep emotional struggles. His return to the Dirty Harry series with 1983's Sudden Impact was marked by his directorial touch. In this fourth installment, he depicted an assault victim, played by Locke, on a vengeful killing spree, blending his action persona with darker, more complex themes. Following this, 1985's Pale Rider saw Eastwood back in the Western genre, embodying a quasi-religious figure who brings justice to a mining community. The film's stunning visuals and mythic undertones made it one of the few successful westerns of the 1980s. In 1986's Heartbreak Ridge, Eastwood played a tough, old-school Marine sergeant training a group of raw recruits for the invasion of Grenada. However, his most daring project of this era was 1990's White Hunter, Black Heart, where he portrayed a character based on director John Huston during the filming of The African Queen. A lifelong jazz enthusiast and accomplished pianist, Eastwood also directed 1988's Bird, a critically acclaimed biopic of saxophonist Charlie Parker, played by Forrest Whitaker. He also produced the documentary Thelonious Monk Straight, No Chaser. Off-screen, he was elected mayor of Carmel by the Sea, California, in 1986. During his two-year term, he focused on improving local infrastructure and supporting community projects. But his filmmaking career was far from over. Later film career. Following the underwhelming police drama The Rookie, Eastwood directed and starred in the 1992 revisionist western Unforgiven, which brought him significant critical praise and commercial success. In this film, Eastwood portrayed William Money, a former outlaw who returns to violence to avenge a prostitute mutilated by a thug. Unforgiven was celebrated for its unsentimental and gritty depiction of frontier justice, earning Eastwood Academy Awards for Best Director and Best Picture. His performance was lauded for its depth and complexity, encapsulating a weary, morally conflicted protagonist. In 1993's A Perfect World, which he both directed and starred in, Eastwood starred alongside Kevin Costner, who played an escaped convict forming an unlikely bond with a kidnapped boy, while Eastwood's character, a Texas Ranger, pursued them. This quiet drama explored themes of redemption and the nuances of human relationships. That same year, Eastwood took a rare role in another director's film, Wolfgang Petersen's In the Line of Fire. In this action thriller, he played a U.S. Secret Service agent determined to prevent a presidential assassination. 1995's The Bridges of Madison County marked Eastwood's adaptation of Robert James Waller's best-selling novel. Eastwood starred as Robert Kincaid, a National Geographic photographer who embarks on a brief yet profound affair with an Iowa housewife, played by Meryl Streep. 2 years later, Eastwood directed Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, based on John Barrett's non-fiction bestseller. The film delved into the eccentricities of Savannah, Georgia, against the backdrop of a murder trial, capturing the city's unique atmosphere and quirky inhabitants. That same year, Eastwood also directed and starred in Absolute Power, a thriller where he played a master thief who inadvertently witnesses a murder involving the President of the United States. Eastwood closed the decade with 1999's True Crime, in which he starred as a jaded journalist investigating the impending execution of a man he believes to be innocent. This film highlighted Eastwood's ability to delve into morally complex stories, reflecting his enduring commitment to exploring themes of justice and redemption through nuanced storytelling. Despite some setbacks, Eastwood's films continued to push the boundaries of his typical roles and cemented his reputation as a multifaceted talent in Hollywood. As the new decade dawned, Eastwood, now a film veteran from the 20th century, starred in Space Cowboys as the leader of a group of aging test pilots, including Tommy Lee Jones, James Garner, and Donald Sutherland, who are called back into action by NASA to disarm an obsolete Russian satellite. In 2002's Blood Work, Eastwood starred as a retired FBI profiler with a heart transplant, who returns to detective work to track down a murderer, offering a classic thriller with his signature style. However, it was 2003's Mystic River that truly set a new standard for Eastwood as a director. The film, featuring Sean Penn, Kevin Bacon, and Tim Robbins, explored the lifelong impact of a traumatic event on three childhood friends. The film was a critical success, earning Eastwood another Academy Award nomination for Best Director and a nomination for Best Picture. Eastwood's next significant triumph came with 2004's $1 Million Baby. Here, the audience witnesses Eastwood as a grizzled boxing trainer who forms a deep bond with a determined female boxer, played by Hilary Swank. The film was both a critical and commercial success, winning Oscars for Best Picture, Best Actress for Swank, Best Supporting Actor for Morgan Freeman, and Best Director for Eastwood, marking his second win in the directing category. Eastwood then tackled the Second World War with Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, both released in 2006. The latter, told from the Japanese perspective, was particularly lauded, earning several Oscar nominations including Best Director and Best Picture. In 2008's Changeling, Eastwood directed Angelina Jolie in a true story about a mother's search for her missing son in 1928 Los Angeles. The film was well received, earning Eastwood a special award at Cannes. Later that year, Gran Torino featured Eastwood as a cantankerous Korean War veteran who befriends a Hmong family, tackling themes of racism and redemption. 2009's Invictus, filmed in Cape Town, South Africa, depicted President Nelson Mandela's efforts to unite the country through the 1995 Rugby World Cup. 2010's Hereafter explored the afterlife through the interconnected stories of three individuals. 2011's J. Edgar starred Leonardo DiCaprio as the controversial FBI director J. Edgar Hoover, offering a nuanced look at his professional and personal life. 2014 was a year marked by both trials and success. Eastwood's adaptation of the musical Jersey Boys was met with mixed reviews. However, American Sniper was a major success, portraying the life of Navy SEAL sniper Chris Kyle and examining the toll of war on soldiers. The film earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture. Eastwood continued to draw from real-life events with 2016's Sully, depicting the miraculous emergency landing of a commercial jet on the Hudson River by pilot Chesley Sully Sullenberger, played by Tom Hanks. 2018's The 1517 to Paris chronicled the thwarting of a terrorist attack on a train. Interestingly, the film uniquely cast the real-life heroes to play themselves. Later the same year, The Mule saw Eastwood return to acting as a Second World War veteran who becomes a drug courier. In 2019's Richard Jewell, Eastwood told the story of the security guard wrongly accused of the 1996 Atlanta Olympic bombing. His latest directorial effort, 2021's Cry Macho, featured Eastwood as a former rodeo star embarking on a journey of redemption. For all his work, Eastwood has received numerous accolades, including the Irving G. Thalberg Award for Lifetime Achievement in 1995 and the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award in 1996. He was also made a Chevalier of the French Legion of Honor in 2007 and elevated to commander 2 years later. His later works have cemented his legacy as a versatile and enduring figure in American cinema, adept at both directing and acting across genres and themes, relationships, heartbreaks, and escapades. In the shadows of Hollywood's glitz and glamour, Clint Eastwood's personal story was not devoid of complexity either. For perspective, he has fathered a total of 8 children from 6 different women. That's how many we know of. There is speculation that he may have more children. Despite public curiosity, Eastwood himself chooses to keep his lips silent. In any case, his romantic odyssey traces back to his first marriage with Margaret Neville Johnson. Their love story blossomed from their shared years as students at Piedmont Junior High School. Their bond endured through Oakland Technical High School, even as Eastwood's acting ambitions gained momentum. Yet, amidst the vows exchanged and the promises made, their union was marked by episodes of infidelity. One such liaison on Eastwood's part bore fruit in the form of Laurie, born in 1954. Her existence was concealed from public scrutiny until 2018, when the truth finally emerged, unveiling her as Eastwood's daughter at the age of 64. However, Eastwood's infidelity did not remain a secret for Margaret. Knowing that she had been cheated, she still remained persistent about her relationship with Eastwood, announcing their engagement in October 1953, mere weeks before Laurie's birth in Seattle. Yet the path to marital bliss was fraught with challenges. Eastwood, who was grappling with feelings of youthfulness and unpreparedness, began having dalliances with actress Mamie Van Doren during the filming of Star in the Dust in 1955. Margaret, on the other hand, pursued her career as an educator amidst the backdrop of her husband's burgeoning fame. Eastwood opened up yet another chapter of romance with Roxanne Tunis during the second season of Rawhide in 1959. Roxanne Tunis became Eastwood's secret side woman for over a decade and a half. Their liaison bore fruit in the form of Kimber Eastwood, born on June 17, 1964. Kimber's identity, however, remained veiled from public scrutiny until the prying eyes of the National Enquirer brought her existence to light in July 1989. As for Margaret's awareness of Kimber's paternity, there is no consensus. Some suggest that she may have been kept in the dark. However, others hint at potential encounters between Margaret and Roxanne Tunis during an unanticipated visit to the set of Breezy in 1972. Barbara Eden, a close friend, described Eastwood and Margaret's union as an open marriage. While Margaret remained tight-lipped on the matter, Kimber stepped into the limelight, acknowledging her link to Clint Eastwood and yearning for a connection with him. However, Eastwood responded with silence and distance. He was notably absent from her wedding to Doug McCartney in 1990. The passing of Roxanne Tunis in June 2023 marked the end of a chapter in Eastwood's personal saga. Posthumously, he hailed her as one of his true loves. But Eastwood's romantic exploits didn't end there. Anita Loest alleged that she terminated a pregnancy without his consultation during their affair. Eastwood also had dalliances with restaurant critic Gail Green and high-profile French models Kathy Regan and Danielle Cote. Among his co-stars, Eastwood had affairs with actresses Inger Stevens from Hang 'em High and Joanne Harris from The Beguiled. He also had encounters with Jill Banner, Catherine Deneuve, and Susan St. James. But his romantic conquests weren't confined to the silver screen alone. Columnist Bridget Byrne, socialite Joan Lundberg Hitchcock, and singer Keely Smith were all rumored to be entangled with Eastwood during his marriage to Margaret Johnson. Despite such trials and tribulations, Johnson and Eastwood found their way back to each other after a period of separation and illness in the mid-1960s. Their reconciliation led to the birth of their 2 children, Kyle Eastwood born on May 19, 1968, and Allison Eastwood, born on May 27, 1972. However, the winds of change blew fiercely in 1975 when Eastwood embarked on a 9-year journey with actress-director Sondra Locke. Despite her marriage to another man, their union culminated in Eastwood's official divorce from Johnson in 1984. However, Locke remained legally bound to her spouse. Eastwood had first crossed paths with Sondra Locke in 1972. Locke's entry into the entertainment industry saw her traverse various roles at the Nashville-based radio station WSM-AM, before transitioning to a promotions assistant role at MTV. Amidst these endeavors, she honed her craft with the Circle Players Theater Company, setting the stage for her cinematic debut in 1968's The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. Her performance garnered critical acclaim, earning her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress and dual Golden Globe nominations. Locke's collaboration with Eastwood blossomed into a romantic entanglement in 1975. Their bond deepened during the filming of The Outlaw Josie Wales later that year, prompting Locke to move in with Eastwood. Amidst the backdrop of newfound intimacy, Locke found herself navigating a tumultuous terrain, facing personal challenges including 2 abortions and a tubal ligation during the late 1970s. Their union, however, was not without its obstacles. Margaret Johnson, Eastwood's ex-wife, cast a looming shadow over their relationship, prompting the couple to seek solace in a new abode in Bel Air. However, tensions simmered as Locke encountered resistance from Johnson, whose animosity towards her persisted. Johnson initiated separation proceedings in late 1978, culminating in a lengthy divorce process that concluded in 1984. Johnson received a substantial financial settlement, estimated to be between $25 and $30 million, while Locke's own marital status remained unchanged. Her marriage to Gordon Anderson, though never consummated, endured, with Anderson residing alongside his partner in a home provided by Eastwood. Despite the personal tumult, Eastwood and Locke's professional collaboration persisted, yielding several cinematic endeavors. Yet cracks began to surface in their relationship as Locke opted to maintain her marriage to Anderson, even though Eastwood and Johnson had divorced. Despite Locke's willingness to explore therapy and dissolve her marriage, Eastwood remained steadfast in his stance, ultimately leading to the unraveling of their once intimate bond. Moreover, in the early 1980s, Eastwood resumed his secret dalliances. Among the women entangled in his web of secrecy were story analyst Megan Rose, actress Jamie Rose, and animal rights activist Jane Brolin, with whom he had maintained intermittent liaisons since the early 1960s. However, it was Jocelyn Reeves, a stewardess whom Eastwood reportedly encountered at his restaurant, the Hog's Breath Inn, in Carmel, who emerged as one of his primary mistresses during this period. Despite still cohabiting with Sondra Locke, Eastwood's relationship with Reeves bore fruit in the form of 2 children, Scott in 1986 and Catherine in 1988. Their existence remained shrouded in secrecy, and would have stayed that way were it not for a sensational tabloid expose in 1990 that thrust them into the spotlight. The unraveling of his relationship with Sondra Locke in April 1989 marked a tumultuous chapter in their shared history. Sondra, unaware of Eastwood's infidelities, found herself embroiled in a bitter legal battle after he changed the locks on their home and displaced her belongings into storage while she was away filming her second directorial feature, Impulse. In the courtroom, Eastwood portrayed Locke as a mere roommate, or part-time roommate, seriously downplaying the intensity of their past intimacy. Locke, however, alleged that Eastwood had secretly fathered Reeves's children during their relationship. Her legal skirmish with Eastwood dragged on for years, coinciding with her private battle against breast cancer. Ultimately, Locke relinquished her legal pursuit in November 1990 in exchange for a settlement. However, her public commentary continued to cast shadows over Eastwood's reputation. Throughout her career, Locke maintained a veil of secrecy around her true age, often portraying roles intended for younger actresses. Her passing in 2018 at the age of 74 was kept secret and confirmed only 6 weeks afterward. This marked the end of a life colored by both triumphs and tribulations, leaving behind a substantial estate from her decades-long marriage to Gordon Anderson. Following his split from Sondra Locke, Clint Eastwood navigated a labyrinth of romantic encounters, including dalliances with Barbra Streisand and companionship with Marisa Berenson, Jean Grace, Danny Crane, and Barbara Minty, widow of Steve McQueen. Yet, it was his connection with actress Frances Fisher that marked a significant chapter in his love life. Their secret affair, which began on the set of Pink Cadillac in 1988, remained under wraps for 2 years before they publicly acknowledged their romance in late 1990. Their bond culminated in the birth of their daughter, Francesca Eastwood, in 1993. Despite their legal eligibility to wed, they chose not to, and their relationship met its end in January 1995 due to Eastwood's undisclosed liaison with Jocelyn Reeves. The following year, Eastwood embarked on a new chapter by marrying television news anchor Dina Ruiz. Ruiz was 35 years his junior, and the duo met for an interview in 1993. Their union brought forth another daughter, Morgan Eastwood, in December 1996. Together they navigated the spotlight, appearing in Eastwood's films and starring in their own reality show, Mrs. Eastwood and Company. However, their marital bliss was short-lived, and they both separated in 2013, leading to divorce the following year. Since his split from Ruiz, Eastwood has had romantic connections with photographer Erica Tomlinson Fisher and restaurant hostess Christina Sandera. Despite speculation surrounding the extent of his progeny, Eastwood has maintained silence on the matter, choosing not to publicly address claims of additional offspring. The true scope of his family remains shrouded in mystery. When pushed on the question, in a 1997 interview on 60 Minutes, he simply admitted that he has a few. Not very specific, right? However, his legacy transcends the realm of personal affairs, encompassing a prolific career in the film industry, a life lived to the full. While he may not have made many wise decisions in his personal relationships, leading to many heartbreaks, and as per his own admission, a few children conceived out of wedlock, his dedication to a health-conscious lifestyle is commendable. This preference traces back to his formative years, with his commitment to fitness and nutrition becoming a cornerstone of his identity. Embraced by magazines as a beacon of health and vitality, Eastwood has long championed eating lots of fruits and raw vegetables, taking vitamin supplementation, and avoiding sugary beverages, excessive alcohol, and carbohydrates. It's not all about the looks, though. His commitment stems from a deeply personal experience. His father passed away from a heart attack in 1970 at the age of 64. This event deeply affected Eastwood, prompting him to adopt a more rigorous health regimen and take better care of himself. He later admitted that the loss of his father was a significant turning point in his life, leading him to be more conscious about fitness and nutrition. However, despite his abstinence from hard liquor, Eastwood ventured into the hospitality industry in 1971 by opening the Hog's Breath Inn in Carmel by the Sea. This marked the beginning of his foray into the world of entrepreneurship, eventually leading him to sell the establishment in 1999 and acquire the Mission Ranch Hotel and Restaurant. His passion for golf also shines through, evidenced by his ownership of the Tehama Golf Club and involvement in the Pebble Beach golf links. He frequently participates in charitable events associated with golf tournaments, leveraging his passion to contribute to worthy causes. Spiritually, Eastwood's journey has been one of evolution. While in 1973 he professed that he did not technically believe in God, his daughter Catherine revealed in 2023 that their family embraces non-traditional beliefs. Eastwood's spiritual connection finds resonance in nature, with awe-inspiring wonders like the Grand Canyon, serving as manifestations of the divine. Since at least 1975, Eastwood has embraced transcendental meditation as a daily practice. In 2010, at the age of 80, Eastwood made headlines with the construction of a sprawling 15,949 square foot compound in Carmel by the Sea. This luxurious estate is estimated to cost around $20 million. The property includes multiple buildings, offering ample room for both living and entertainment. The picturesque town of Carmel by the Sea is special for Eastwood, as he once served as its mayor from 1986 to 1988. His involvement in the local community is further evidenced by his ownership of other notable properties in the area, such as the Mission Ranch Hotel and Restaurant. The compound itself reflects Eastwood's taste for privacy and comfort, featuring extensive landscaping, state-of-the-art amenities, and a design that blends seamlessly with the natural beauty of the Carmel coast. Besides this sprawling estate, his portfolio includes a diverse array of properties spanning from a mansion in Bel Air to a ranch near Cassell, showcasing his investment in both luxury and rustic living. Yet amidst his personal pursuits, Eastwood's professional legacy looms large. With a career spanning over 50 films, Eastwood's impact on cinema is unparalleled. His versatility as an actor, director, producer, and composer has left an indelible mark on the industry. From iconic westerns to gripping dramas, Eastwood's filmography has amassed over $181 billion domestically over the years, solidifying his status as a box office powerhouse. His accolades speak volumes, with Academy Awards, Directors Guild of America Awards, Golden Globe Awards, and People's Choice Awards adorning his illustrious career. Notably, Eastwood stands alongside Warren Beatty as one of only 2 people to be twice nominated for Best Actor and Best Director for the same film. His impact on the American culture has been so pronounced that even President Barack Obama recognized his contributions to arts and humanities in 2010. He also earned honorary degrees from prestigious institutions like the University of the Pacific and the University of Southern California. International honors, including the Légion d'honneur in France and the Order of the Rising Sun from Emperor Akihito of Japan, further underscore Eastwood's global impact. Despite the controversies and scandals that have punctuated his life, Eastwood's journey is one with many trials and ordeals that he overcame to become a legend. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable.